talk about it. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, I bet. So do you see like a pathway, like at least right now, being created more for Black artists in the manga space currently?
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. And it's crazy because a lot of us are doing it ourselves. Like as a community, we're moving forward, but
Yeah.
like we don't have any help from any like any big guy or anything, you know? Like for
Yeah.
instance, I'm not going to say no names, but there's one artist who's very talented, very popular. Their main character is white, you know? And I feel like the reason that was is because this artist started at a time where it wasn't like a realization of Black people or artists that was like, yo, dang, I look super light skinned talking about Black people, but
Hey, yo, I'm dead.
it wasn't like a big realization of Black artists where they were like, yo, I can really make a Black character. And I feel like he was smaller and he started his character was white, you know,
Yeah.
and then as he got bigger, he was like, oh my gosh, I should have had a Black main character. And now you see all his side characters are Black, right? Because he
Wow.
just can't go back on that. I'll tell you who it
Yeah.
is after this. But
Got you.
yeah, like I said, a lot of us on Twitter, we're trying, we're really trying. Like we have Mine All Black Fruit, we got Noah's, we have God Punch, Dark Vulcan, Shade of Red. We have a lot, you know, and we're trying to get it to a place where people see it and they immediately know what it is. They know the group, you know, like
Got
bro,
you.
we even went as far as making a new term for it, bro. Right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
bro, like think about this. So the going term we had was manga. We were just using manga. Everybody had a problem with that. Not
Got
everybody,
you.
but too many people.
Yeah.
So we came up with the term mangoji, right? Which is manga, and then Oji, which means black in your robot, I believe, right?
Okay.
So mangoji was a term, and then if you're the writer or the artist or who colors it, you'd be considered a mangojin, right? So we came up with that just so people have something to call it, and they can't argue with it because we made it up. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Has there been a response to that? Like, is this like why is the new term there? Like, has that been a thing? Why are people just like, yo, just call it a comic? That's what like is that a thing or?
We really haven't used it as much. It's like something we're recently cooking up. But
Okay.
the only issue with comics is that's not what it is technically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I understand that, but when we talk about like style, it's not the style of a comic.
Mm-hmm.
If we were drawing superheroes and we had them in a comic environment and
Yeah.
the art and the shading and everything was comic, then we call it that. But since it's manga styled, that's
Mm-hmm.
why we call it, because think about it. The comic crowd is very different from the manga crowd. The
Very
manga and
different.
anime
Yeah.
crowd. It's so different. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone's like, oh, I got this comic, the manga person is going to say, okay. But
Yeah.
if you say, oh, this is a manga, they're going to go, oh, I know what that is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Now that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I know for me it doesn't really translate unless it's like, if you see it on TV or something, but like when I do think about the word manga, when I think about the word comic, like I'm just like I would rather much if I'm gonna read something, right? If I'm gonna watch an adaptation of something,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a manga, right? It's gonna be
Yeah.
like, comics are great, but like,
It's
it is
different.
it's just different, right? It's just like I'm used to the
Yeah.
the tropes of it. I'm just like, oh, this looks familiar. I guess in a sense relate to it a little bit more than the comic world.
Bro, and the culture is even different where when you have a comic for a superhero, right? It doesn't follow one story. That
Yeah.
superhero has been drawn by 10 different artists, colored
Mm-hmm.
by 100 different colorists, and the
Mm-hmm.
story and their powers are based on who is writing it at the time, right?
Got you.
When it comes to manga, they all for the most part, 99% of them follow one story. You
Yeah.
know, one. So, like what you said, when you think about it, a comic, you never know where to jump in. There's no starting point because everything is different. A manga, volume 1
Yeah. Yeah.
to volume 10,
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Man, so we're gonna get into some deep water. This is my next question. With with the Black manga community, like Um, is there a possibility